every once in a while and get your vision checked. And as a chess player, you should test your chess vision maybe once a week. And this is going to be the start of a new series you can find on my personal YouTube channel, youtube.com/Daniel Rensch, where we test our chess visualization skills. So I'm going to start out, do 3 each time. We're going to start out with just the coordinates and push ourselves to raise the limit of how quickly, how accurately we can coordinate and see the board, improving our calculation skills. Then we're going to practice moves, and then we're going to have a mix of both. The hardest is to have a mix of both and have it switch from both white and black's perspective. Here we go. I'm going to start out for the first time ever putting my money on the line. I have the record right now amongst the Chess.com staff. Here we go with vision training. H5, H5, F2, F4, E3. Wow, I'm getting all dark squares here. There we go. A5, F8, G3, E6, D3, G1, G4, F6, H5, G8, C6, B4, A2, F1, C7, E4, H1, G4, A7, E8. Don't start dragging on me, mouse. That's actually my new record. That was 30 of 30. And I was moving to C1 to click it. Okay, I'm pretty proud of myself. That's a new record, and I can prove it to our staff, mainly Jay, our co-founder, who says, well, no one can see exactly how good you are at this visualization stuff, Danny. I'm like, hey, I'm pushing the limit here. I already claimed 26, and now we know I have 30. It's on record. Take that, Jay. Yeah, the challenge is on. Record yourself doing the vision. We'll see that. Now let's move on to the harder one. The harder one, here we go. We're going to move to moves away from coordinates. I think my record here is 23. Ready, set, go. Rook E4, King F7, Queen E5, F3, Knight E2, King E3, Knight C3, Bishop C5, King B4, King G8, G7, Queen D3, Knight H4, Bishop B1. Oh, I almost messed that one up. Queen B4, Rook C4. I feel like I'm going slow right now. Tied my record. I don't think I've ever gotten past 23. And I was clicking on the pawn. All right, well, that's fun. Now we move on to the real test where you're balancing back and forth. You can't sit on the type of one that our vision trainer is asking of you. We got pieces and we got movements and squares. Ready, set, Freddy. F5, Bishop G1, D8, E4, C7, Rook B1. Go fast, come on. Come on. Go fast. F1, C3, D7, D7, C6, D3. Oh, I broke my record. I did better on that than I did on the single piece movement. I was moving the king to G4 too. All right. Well, now we've set the tone. 30 squares only, 23 on record for piece movements, 28 with mixed doubles, as I call it. Now, flipping the board is an important challenge because one of the biggest issues people have when visualizing is mixing up the squares. Obviously, here there are no coordinates. That's the whole point of our vision trainers. You're training yourself to understand that, I'll give you the quick chess lecture, B4 and G5 are the same square. B5 and G4 are the same square. G8 and B1 are the same square. The board is an 8x8, rotating color grid. And when you're looking at it from the black side and you're calculating, keeping track of pieces in your head, sometimes people can confuse the coordinates or actually struggle with what the squares are at a basic level. And as you get better, this is never an issue anymore. But what is an issue, and one of the things people underestimate about vision training, is that often the reason you're making blunders in your games has nothing to do with a lack of positional understanding or an I go there, he goes there, I go there, he goes there type of calculation. It has to do with your ability to keep things organized in the variation itself. So I'll put it this way. It's not the lack of being able to imagine the pieces moving in your head. It's the ability to keep track of where the pieces are at the end of a line. So you've calculated 5-6 moves and you forgot, that a knight took a pawn on a diagonal and then it moved in the next part of the variation and unleashed a bishop on g7 to your rook on a1. Then what often happens in the game is you start executing this combination. You realize halfway through that it doesn't work and you blundered. That's a basic example, but often if you're making blunders tactically, it's because of lack of full board awareness and lack of vision training. More than it even is about tactical patterns. And of course, at a basic level, that I can be overstepping a little bit. You have to know your tactical patterns. You have to recognize what type of common themes occur all the time against a fianchetto structure, an isolated pawn. So you push yourself to add little pieces of knowledge in your head. But the vision trainer helps you to kind of put that together and pushes you to know the board as well as you can, and so that as things change, you can keep them organized in your head. Now, we plan on improving this tool, and we're going to do a lot more. I have a lot of ideas that have not been executed yet because they're a little bit more complicated than what we've developed so far. But this is still a lot of fun. So I'm going to put my money where my mouth is now and do one from the black side, where now I have to remember that this square is A8, not H1. And we'll see how I'm able to do. We know I have 30 of 30 in the white side, and let's see how I can do from my... This is the first time I've ever solved from the black side, actually, at least as far as our trainer goes. So B2, that means this is B2. That means this is C8. That means this is F2. Oh, I'm doing mixed. I forgot I was doing mixed. F3, bishop B3, queen G2, bishop F8. It is. Oh, no, that's not A3. That's H6. See, it definitely throws you off because I was just doing this G1. Okay, king to D4. I was just doing this, from the other side. B6. D3. See, I'd rather go slower but get them all right until I can quickly switch the side of the board that I'm calculating from. And now, solving from the mixed version where it's going to change each time, it's going to tell us whether we're looking at it from the white or black perspective. This is actually a new feature, and I think is even more challenging for your vision and your quick awareness of the board. So I'm looking at it. I must be looking at it from white side. Where does it tell you? Now I'm looking at it from black side, so that means H3 is here. Okay, so I'm getting it. King to D6, I'm looking at it from the black side. Bishop B8, I'm looking at it from the black side. Queen H3, I'm looking at this from the white side. Okay, so I'm looking from the black side. That means this is G2. This is actually really good. This is really challenging. So I'm white. Bishop E6 from the black side. C3 from the black side. A5 from the black side. Bishop E8 from the... Bishop E8 from the white side. Okay, so it just would have been Bishop E8. Wow, that's difficult, and I really like that. 11 out of 11 is a much slower pace than I'm happy with, and that's a different challenge than I've ever done from the perspective of getting one color and just being able to roll through. But take the challenge yourself. Have fun using our vision trainer. I'm going to offer tips and advice weekly as we do this this fun little contest and try to work on our vision. Like I said, go get your eyes checked out so you're not driving blind. Okay, I mean that's just like pro tip for life. # you're welcome, and get your vision checked on Chess.com, everybody.